Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in recent times had a busy but interesting, fulfilling and rewarding official engagements. Let's now bring you a comprehensive news catalogue of his recent schedule when it has to do with attending to the business of governance in Lagos State. On from the Governor's Office segment on the City of Lagos TV show. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu at the recent launch of the Malaria Pre-Elimination and Digitization Program was of the view that the launch indeed was a great initiative and effort to change the narrative about taking a bold step to check the dangerous impact and devastating effect of malaria in the society. Mr. Governor described the launch as a revolutionary game changer to improve health care for Lagosians.
It's an honor that I stand before all of you in this room are very strategic to launch the first in the country, another Lagos first, the pathway to malaria pre-elimination and digitalization program. We're here to affirm our commitment to safeguarding lives and the livelihood of every Lagosian. Malaria is more than a disease. It's a social economic burden that has held back individuals, it has held back families and communities for such a long time. It robs us of our productivity, it drains us of our household incomes. And for many households in Lagos, especially those modest earners, malaria, the name alone brings shivers. It reduces their earning and reduces their ability to continue to earn more for their family. And so this financial strain often affects families and in a lot of times causes heartbreaks and the rest of it. But we're here to put a stop or to even lend a voice to the step at which we want to eliminate that completely. It has affected school children from going to school. It has affected businesses. It has seen a whole lot of absenteeism and a lot of challenges in our society for several decades. But today, we are here to change all of that narrative. The eradication of malaria is not just a good health news. It is indeed an economic imperative. It's a good news that all of us must beat our chest and be able to carry, if there's a pin, that we need to have, a pre-elimination, the campaign for it. We need to have it and we need to be able to dot it everywhere proudly.
The recent meeting with the Lagos International Financial Council by the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was basically to seek strategies to make Lagos competitive in the financial landscape. Mr. Governor emphasized the critical need to create and generate innovative economic solutions to drive developmental initiatives.
It's a pleasure to welcome you all to this important meeting with our license exchanges on the International Financial Center project, LIFC project. Today's gathering is a testament to our collective commitment to strengthening Lagos' position as Africa's premier financial hub. As Nigeria's largest economic and financial center, Lagos plays a critical role in driving the nation's capital markets. Our license exchanges are the heart of this ecosystem. They're facilitating investments flow, enhancing market liquidity, and promoting financial literacy. Just last night, the co-chair and I, we're at an informal event, where we're just breaking fast with some of our Muslim friends, and the whole conversation was on what we're doing here. It was on how well can we deepen this market, how well can we grow this market, what are exchanges, what are they doing, how can we collaborate on the private sector side, on the public sector side, how do we truly really, enhance and improve the economic well-being of our country. And so we recognize that there are challenges, regulatory bottlenecks, to infrastructural gaps, to technology limitations. There are obstacles we must address together to ensure Lagos remains competitive in the global financial landscape.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, in his keynote speech at the recently organized Africa's Gaming Expo 2025, submitted that the city of Lagos sure has the spectacular potentials to drive the gaming business. He actually noted that the theme of this year's expo is apt and speaks directly to dynamic economic potentials, capacity and capabilities of Lagos as a game changer in driving artificial intelligence.
This year's expo is being hosted in Lagos, a city that embodies innovation, a city that embodies entrepreneurship and economic excellence. Lagos is not just a commercial hub, but a thriving epicenter of Africa's creative economy, where we see gaming, we see fintech, we see entertainment, we see AI coverage as a means to create an unprecedented economic opportunity. And we're not just using these words loosely. These are well-crafted, thought-out economic agenda that is driven by a shared purpose and a vision at the state level, but more importantly, with the thriving businesses and economics that we continue to see develop out of the ecosystem of Lagos. It's no longer news that most of the unicorns that have come out of Africa, 4 out of the 7 have all been birthed out of Lagos. And we'll see also how even our federal government are taking the conversation around AI as a means and as a strong enabler, to fast-track, development. And Lagos is leading in all of that vertical. So we're here again to continue to demonstrate and to show where we have to work and live and thrive in Lagos. This year's theme, Transforming Africa's Gaming Fintech Sector with Artificial Intelligence, is not just timely, it is essential. The gaming industry has evolved beyond a traditional entertainment. Today, it's a key driver of creative economy. It's a strong generating employer of labor. It's fostering digital innovation and it's creating new revenue streams. Similarly, the fintech has revolutionized financial transactions. It has helped to expand access to digital payments and financial inclusion across the continent. Now, artificial intelligence is the catalyst that will accelerate the growth of both industries, enhancing user experience, helping to secure ourselves better, and pushing forward operational efficiency. We, even in the public sector, are looking and are thinking and are cracking our head how AI would help us to fast-track delivery of services to our citizens in various areas of our economy.
And still from the governor's office, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, in his keynote address at the recently held parliamentary seminar, submitted that ECOWAS has indeed lived up to its expectation as a rallying point to foster growth and unity in the African continent. He, however, charged participants and member states to prefer deliberate strategic ways to sustain the tempo.
Today, we gather to celebrate 2 remarkable milestones: the 50th years of ECOWAS and the 25 years of the ECOWAS Parliament. These anniversaries are testaments to the vision, to the resilience, and to the collective will of the people of West Africa to build a united, prosperous, and peaceful region. 50 years ago, on May 28, 1975, the founding fathers of ECOWAS gathered in Lagos, here in the same city, to sign the Treaty of Lagos. Their vision was born and was transformative to create a community bound by shared value, by mutual respect, and a commitment to economic integration, a commitment to peace and security. Over the last 5 decades, ECOWAS has grown from a bold idea into a dynamic regional organization that has shaped the destiny of West Africa. From fostering economic cooperation to mediating conflicts and promoting demographic governance, ECOWAS has proven to be a beacon of hope and progress. The establishment of the ECOWAS Parliament in the year 2000 further strengthened this vision
by providing a platform for dialogue, a platform for representation, and a platform for advancement of regional policies. Today, ECOWAS stands as a shining example of what is possible when nations come together to pursue a common goal.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was indeed proud and excited at the recent groundbreaking ceremony at First Bank PLC 40-story building proposed headquarters in Eko Atlantic City. The governor described the project as an audacious one that would change the landscape of the banking sector in Nigeria.
I stand here truly proud and uniquely so as your governor. I have come to Eko Atlantic several times to do groundbreaking ceremony. But this is the groundbreaking ceremony. I have seen several investments come into the Eko Atlantic City. But this is the investment that will change the future of this city. Lagos and First Bank continue to share in that long, over 13 decades of history, of culture, of belief, of sheer size and vision. A 47-story building is not just a building. It's a strength. It's a power of possibility. It's a sheer mind of you can dream, you can see, you can envision, you can innovate. It's what is all put in here. It's a building of the future. It's not a building for today. It's a realization of the dreams of dreamers, of doers, of people that believe that indeed this country can be a great nation.
The unveiling ceremony of the TA Lagbaja cantonment in Ikeja by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu alongside top military officers was indeed not only apt, but sends a strong signal that great soldiers deserve to be honored and celebrated even after death. In his speech, Mr. Governor noted specifically the great attributes of the late T.A. Lagbaja, which makes the renaming of the Ikeja cantonment after him a historic and landmark action for a gallant soldier who has served his country meritoriously.
This is more than a change of name. It is a testament of respect, a testament of gratitude, and recognition for a man of courage, a man of service, to one of the finest profession, the military profession in our country, Lieutenant General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja, the 23rd former Chief of Army Staff. This cantonment has long been a symbol of courage. It's been a symbol of discipline and patriotism. It has been home to thousands of brave men and women who have defended our sovereignty with their lives. It has witnessed moments of triumph, resilience, and sacrifice. And therefore, the renaming it after Lieutenant General Lagbaja is a fitting tribute to a leader, a gentleman, and an officer whose life embodied all of these values. A distinguished infantry officer, he served the Nigerian Army with unwavering dedication for over 3 decades, playing key roles in counter-insurgent operations, internal security, and peace-loving mission. By renaming this cantonment after him, we are sending a strong message to our armed forces and to future generations that Nigeria will always honor its heroes.
And now to some series of courtesy visits to Mr. Governor. The recent courtesy visit to Governor Sanwo-Olu by the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Dr. Aminu Maidan, and some executives was to seek the state government's support and collaboration in its drive to protect and safeguard telecom infrastructure across the country, with Lagos being a key state.
As we move forward, we recognize that Lagos needs to be a strategic partner for us. And of course, in the spirit of partnership that you have shown and solved, something that was, help us to solve something that was a stumbling block for the industry for over a decade. I think there is also opportunity for us to build on top of that and see how we can move the industry forward, move Lagos forward, and by extension, Nigeria forward. And I'm hoping that after this visit, that we'll start the process of creating a working team to help drive some of those agendas. I think in the first area, Your Excellency, is on the area of protecting our infrastructure. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has graciously, in July last year, signed an executive order for protecting our critical national infrastructure. A key sector is, of course, our telecommunications industry. So we're now working with the Office of the National Security Advisor to operationalize that executive order. But we also recognize that it's not just something that can be driven at the federal level, and it is not even a matter of force or enforcement. It's a matter of awareness and collaboration with the subnationals. And like I mentioned earlier, Lagos State, when you look at the density of where the nation's telecommunications infrastructure is, and also where the users are, Lagos is a significant player in that respect. So we're seeking collaboration in that area.
The governor, on his part, assured the NCC boss of his support and collaboration for the NCC to achieve its set objectives.
We are one commission that we believe that there's a lot that we can do together. Even from the economy side, we know how strategic Lagos is to the telecommunication industry. We know what quantum of penetration sits or resides in Lagos. We know what the power, of digital, capability, digital infrastructure could be, and how that can be a leapfrog for us to be able to achieve, quicker and faster catch up with the industrialized nation. Whilst our fathers and our grandfathers can give reasons, while they cannot catch up, our generation don't have a reason, especially your generation, because there are no reasons at all. And we all can see that the world is becoming increasingly global with local peculiar nuisances, but indeed we can all derive a lot of huge benefits, from the globalization that we see, where digital economy, is playing a critical role. And so as a government, what we've done is, under our team's agenda, we saw technology, as one of our drivers, as a mover, as an economic driver for us to be able to activate better social economic order.
The desire and intention to consolidate and explore the significant possibilities for partnership and collaboration between the Bahamas and Lagos State formed the crux of discussion between the Deputy Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Honorable Chester Cooper, and the Lagos State Governor during the courtesy visit by the Prime Minister, considering the economic business potentials in the Bahamas and Lagos as the economic powerhouse of Nigeria makes the partnership a mutually benefiting one.
Some of the matters we want to explore includes technology, trade and commerce, investments, etc. But I am delighted to be here with my friends from Access, and this is a part of the collaboration that we have started. Before government, Your Excellency, I have been a businessman in the financial services space, and I always tell people that notwithstanding my role in government, I'm not a diplomat, but I do believe that we can strengthen relations between our countries by doing business, and I think that's the best way to do so, by finding interest in common. So I'm here to meet with some business people, to have discussions with my friends here from Access. I know that they've appointed a managing director for the Caribbean, and that certainly is exciting. It's a positive signal as to what could be. and we are very delighted to work with them. And of course, I want to introduce our country to persons who may not be familiar. Of course, we are only 400,000 people, but we are a country that boasts of what we call punching above our weight class. So we have been fortunate to be only 15 miles off the coast of Florida, which brings significant economic potential and benefit. We've benefited significantly from a tourism business, financial services. We're now looking to see how we can advance new industries, including technology, where we're making a significant push. And I recognize the great work that you're doing with your tech business here. We hope to be able to learn some things from you, Your Excellency, to be able to help to continue the development of that business.
Because of the size of the market we have here, this is a city with over 24 million people. It's the biggest, largest, in the whole of Sub-Saharan. In fact, it's the single largest city in Africa. The economic power of the city it's enormous, but it can also, with the likes of, Access and other players, it can also go about and bring and develop businesses, That's why I can't but commend the reach out that you're doing. Once you're a finance person, you're a finance person. We need to be able to connect the dots very well. And technology is a strong enabler, for us to be able to do things, and do it quicker, faster, and better. So I'm also excited. I intend to see how we develop a lot more closer relationship with the Caribbean countries.
The Lagos State Governor has charged and challenged the board and members of the Junior Chamber International to champion leadership courage and show exemplary capacity to succeed as youths during a courtesy visit by the Executive Committee members to Mr. Governor. The national president of JCI Nigeria seized the opportunity to acquaint Mr. Governor of key programs of the group.
Today, we are here to talk about our programs that we currently have ongoing. We have a program called the 10 Outstanding Young Person, where we recognize young people across Nigeria, not just JCI members. Also, we are hosting the Southern Conference in Lagos, where we would have over 1,200 of our members coming into Lagos. We held a Southern Conference in 2023, where we had 1,000 members of JCI Nigeria coming into Lagos, and that shows that we are a center of excellence and people will keep coming back, and our members are passionate, they are result driven. And one thing about JCI members is we look within our community and look for challenges. We don't wait for the government to do things for us. We ask, what can we as JCI members do and prefer solutions in education, in health, across board.
For us as a government, we see, the vision and the things that you do in JCI resonates very well with part of the things that we are doing, in Lagos State. And I'm sure that's why she's with us, and we can borrow her to JCI for 1 year, but we're excited. We're also happy that she will also learn from both sides, be able to use the skills, the access and the knowledge she's learning from government to be able to also push, the narrative of JCI during her tenure, very well, and also be able to, have, an overview from both sides with a very young, dynamic, members that you have, and see how well Lagos State can continue to be an enabler in that space. Overall, I think it's a future about the youth, it's a future about the young people, it's a future about people that can innovate, that can think, that can, ask questions and want to lend a voice.
The purpose of the World Bank team who paid a courtesy visit to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu recently was to put the governor on speed the various health intervention efforts and preventive strategies to fight malaria, as well as other proactive health preventive initiatives across Africa, especially in Lagos, Nigeria.
Many of them will go to community pharmacies, to PPMVs, and to other sites to get care first, and sometimes they're not getting the care that they need. And so we have together designed a program to understand exactly what's happening in these pharmacies and PPMVs, to enable supply chains, to oversee them and train them, and then ensure that there is good diagnosis and referral to the public health system. There are several different groups that are bringing together these services, including MyShemeds, NMEP, SFH, PCN, and then World Bank is enabling the financing for it. And then we are doing this in partnership and with the guidance of the Honorable Commissioner and the team at Lagos State Ministry of Health. So we appreciate your support in this and look forward to doing whatever we can to help support the elimination of malaria and the understanding of other diseases in Lagos State.
On his part, the governor affirmed the need for concerted efforts to achieve a common goal.
The fact that we're all sitting here together means that there's a common agenda, around what we want to solve. And if we all agree that malaria is something that has been long around, that we need to be able to deal with it, then we're on a journey to solving it jointly. I know in that journey there will be challenges, there will be conversations that are not very clear, but we need to have clarity to some of these things and be able to define, roles, responsibility, and put timelines to some of these things so that indeed the real impact and the output based on the input we are given, we actually can measure and see where we are.
And finally, from the governor's office, in the spirit of the Holy Ramadan, which preaches peace and togetherness, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, attended the opening prayer session, which commenced the Muslim fasting exercise in Lagos earlier in the month. In his brief remark, the governor enunciated the spiritual essence of the Ramadan fasting period.
This is customary for us in Lagos and in Lagos State. And we take this very, very seriously because indeed it helps us to get into that state of grace whilst we want to commence the holy month of Ramadan. And so I believe that the lectures and the words that are going to be spoken this evening will be words that will encourage us, will be words that will admonish us, will be words that will prepare our hearts and our minds and our brain, everything, to be able to receive during this period of Ramadan. And I'm sure you know that it's an holy month in which there's a lot of things that comes with it. There's a lot of sacrifice, there's a lot of denial that we need to do, there's a lot of self-denial that we need so that we can indeed be in a state of grace and we can let all our prayers be acceptable. It's a month in which we know that all of our needs, all of our cries, is always a time in which we need to reference, with our Almighty, and it shall be well with all of us.
And that's the picture from the governor's office platform on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. Up next on the show is the commissioner's platform. And of course, today we have a special guest who happens to be the Honorable Commissioner for Fiscal Planning and Urban Development in Lagos State. It was quite expository and revealing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.